Right now, law enforcement and leaders from both sides of the border are in Chula Vista learning ways to fight back against human trafficking. Welcome to The Four. I'm Marcella Lee, and today for Heather Myers.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. This comes one day after California Attorney General Ron Bonta announced an undercover sting during ComicCon that resulted in more than a dozen arrests. CBS 8's Kelly Hasedal joins us live from Chula Vista City Hall with more on the conference and what she's learned about the people who were arrested in that undercover operation. Kelly.
That's right, and I'm told that 14 people were arrested during that undercover sting that happened during ComicCon, and I've learned that some of them are from San Diego. Now, law enforcement says that is the dark side of some of these large events, these large conventions. They attract a lot of people, including traffickers.
Every time that there is a huge event, a world event, there will always be the organized crime working there. So we need to be more proactive, and we need to work wisely and coordinated with all the authorities.
And that was Alicia Kerber, the Consul General of Mexico in San Diego, who says human trafficking is a very lucrative business. Today, leaders on both sides of the border got together for training, for seminars aimed at combating it. According to the California Department of Justice, it's one of the fastest growing forms of organized crime. We're told the underground operation generates more than $800 million in San Diego alone. So this is a tough battle law enforcement is fighting. They say every year 3,500 adults and children are bought and sold in San Diego. In this latest string of arrests during ComicCon, undercover law enforcement posted advertisements soliciting sex to arrest buyers. They also posed as buyers to find potential victims. So they were able to recover 10 potential victims, including a 16-year-old girl. The Sheriff's Department says traffickers often use social media to lure kids in.
Traffickers are no longer strangers. If you've posted on my Instagram, we've known each other for a few weeks, and then all of a sudden you invite me out for lunch or dinner or so on and so forth, and that's how the relationship starts to grow.
And so she says you really need to know who your kids are hanging out with. She says this isn't a case always where victims are being taken away from their homes. She says sometimes kids pretend to be at school when they're not. They go home every night to their parents, and their parents have no idea that they're actually victims. So she says look out for the warning signs. Maybe your kid shows up with expensive gifts. Also, again, make sure that you know who they're hanging out with. Marcella and Carlo.
Such a serious issue in our border community. Kelly, going back to that ComicCon sting, do we know what kind of charges suspects face?
Well, we're told everybody that was arrested for buying sex. So typically that comes with a charge of soliciting prostitution, which is a misdemeanor charge. I'm told that the goal of this entire operation was to actually find the victims, get them some help, and at the same time, hopefully get some leads from them that could lead to some of the bigger fish in these operations. The sex traffickers or the human traffickers certainly face more serious charges.
San Diego has been known for a while as a hotbed for human trafficking. We don't usually see that part when we think of our city. So glad to see that law enforcement trying to make a dent in that.